Hello everyone, this is Paul's Mental Health Diaries. Today we got me, I'm Paul, we got Dee on recording, and we got our guest, Jonny. Hi, say hi Jonny.
Yeah, nice to be on, thank you very much.
How are you today?
Good, the weekend has arrived today, so I'm very pleased about that. Busy week in work.
Alright, so we're going to start off our session today. You are an Andy's Man Club facilitator. I'm going to talk about Andy's Man Club today. So if anyone is not known of Andy's Man Club, it's a men's mental health group, age 18 and above.
Yeah.
Men can just go there for a bit of a rant and a bit of just to release on their mental health and that they're stressed out, whatever they.
Yeah.
So they start off their questions. How's your week been? I'll do the same. How's your week been?
Yeah, so we ask that every week.
Yeah.
With a set format of questions, and it doesn't have to be a Monday to Sunday run of everything, but just some highlights from your week. It's been a good week. So I was at the session on Monday, and that was really good because we had really good numbers. Work has been ridiculously busy, but it was my birthday on Wednesday, so I had the opportunity to do some nice things with some friends. Other than that, it's not been a bad week, but I'm not a fan of this time of year with autumn, just especially when the weather's as horrendous as it is today.
Yeah, it's awful today. You got the same birthday as my girlfriend, actually.
Oh wow, the 12th of November, yeah. There you go, small world. All the best people are born on the 12th of November.
So I'll answer how my week's been. It's been alright. I finished work and Saturday and Sunday. I was always work on the weekend. Monday we released the episode Sunday, the past episode, and you know what, I listened to it and got quite confident on that. So Monday morning I always do a walking football session, and bloody hell, I thought I've releasing my confidence onto that, and I felt like as if everything I touched turned into a goal. But halfway into it, I've badly sprained my ankle. It's bruised up. Yeah, I thought I had broken it. I was
dangerous
in pain.
game.
Yeah, I was in pain. We're supposed to be walking football. We do take it competitively, so I will. So
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, as I mentioned, my girlfriend's birthday was on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Treated her out to a nice Chinese. We've been an alright week. But just with a bad limp. Good. So they normally do anything positive about your week, don't they?
Like one positive, standout positive maybe. And for a lot of guys, it's hard for them to come up with it, to think of a positive, especially if they've had a pretty naff week. But even just the fact that they've come that night is a positive, they walk through the door. So like some guys say that, but I think for me this week, probably just, as I say, I did have a nice time on my birthday, which I'm not good when plans don't go according to plan, but my plans for my birthday changed last minute. But Martin, one of my good friends who helps me run AMC in Runcorn, pulled out the stops and treated me to a pass at David Lloyd in the jacuzzi, which was wonderful, and a Chinese and some beers. So it was quite an unexpectedly nice birthday in the end. So that's my positive.
Oh, good. I'll say my positive. I got Chinese on Wednesday night, anyways. But a funny story, and you just have to be there to sort of feel the funny side of it. I've got an autistic son, and he's non-verbal. He's 8, and he's a very mummy's boy, and he only chooses me to play with him, and so he'll just be rough and play no matter what with me. Anyways, she was kisses, give us kisses, and he'll so I'll say like from the TV, like 2 feet away, he'll want to kiss her. So you know he was going for that kiss. So I'm not having this. Yeah. Come on, give me kisses. He looked at me. Slap on the face.
Oh, that's love right there. That is love.
Cheeky.
Yeah.
But yeah, still love him. But yeah, so that was my positive. That was a bit of a laugh of the week.
Gotta laugh when you get slapped in the face.
It wasn't hard. It was just like a little
like playful.
Yeah. You know, he is that playful type of
That's
child.
Nice.
So they do the third questions as anything to get off your chest, don't they?
Yeah. So again, you know, that's every week we ask that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative. So we say it could be some kind of positive rant, but it's literally just anything that's like sitting on your mind to get it off your chest. And we use the analogy of a pressure cooker. So sometimes guys will come and maybe on week 1 or 2 they don't actually have a lot to say, or they'll say a little bit about something, and then it's like letting bits out at a time instead of just blowing your top, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, for me, like this week, it's probably just that thing that I mentioned before. I really don't cope well with plans changing. I really don't cope well this time of year, really. I think I suffer from SAD, seasonal affective disorder, because I like lots of sunlight, so I like to go on holiday a lot, as much as I can. But I just hate the dark nights and the cold and the wind and the rain. And that coupled with the fact that it's been a moving week, you know, has been quite difficult. So that's probably the only thing to get off my chest, is just, why can't life just go the way you want it to, and the way that it should, and the way that it's planned? Because I'm a bit OCD. I'm not actually been diagnosed OCD, but I feel like I am, because I like structure in my life. I like routine, don't like change. So less change is my rant.
Nice though when you hear other people's rants and you're like, okay, I feel that way as well.
Yeah.
It's good for people to have that connection.
Yeah, like that common ground.
Yeah.
Or someone might say something and you think, oh, I've been there. Or even, I'm glad I'm not there. You know, there's a lot of relation in that way. You know, you can relate, which is good.
So normally they have a break after the question 3, don't they?
That's true, yeah. Time depending, but usually we do.
Yeah.
And we might have 15 minutes, get another brew. People go for a smoke or whatever, the toilet. And then we normally come back together. Because now we're getting bigger numbers, we're splitting into 2 or 3 groups for those questions. But then we normally come back for the 4 and 5, which change every week.
Yeah. So here comes one of the big questions. They say that questions 4 and 5 is more of a light-hearted questions.
Allegedly. I mean, I think 4's very thought-provoking usually, but then 5's a bit daft or debating.
Yeah.
To get people really, like, is a Jaffa cake a cake or a biscuit? You know, that's kind of
I remember the most biggest debate that we had was, how do you make your cup of tea?
Yeah, things like that. Do you put the milk in first? Do you put the sugar in first? Do you leave the tea bag in there? We can't be having these debates. Not on a Friday.
Well, I've always had that argument with my girlfriend, saying that she always puts 2 tea bags in.
2 tea bags?
And she puts the milk in first. For 1 cup of tea, she puts 2 tea bags in.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Biggest stick.
She's gone down in my estimation now. She's born on the same birthday as me as well. No, that's not.
What other ones have you, on question 4, have you had any good ones?
I know, I'm just trying to think. I think one of the ones recently that we had that was quite good was, what's one thing that like you're most proud of? Like one thing that you've learned, or a quality or whatever. Because I think it's good because it helps guys to reflect and think, actually, you know, I do bring something to the table. Obviously, rather than just problems, you know. So for me, if we're answering that, I'll probably say I'm just proud of how far I've come in my journey over the last few years in my mental health, because now I feel like I can help other people by doing things like this, doing things like AMC, whereas many years ago I probably wouldn't have had the capacity to do that. So much like your cup of tea, if you don't fill your cup up, you can't pour out to other people, can you?
We had that.
That's the analogy.
We had that last week as well. We did.
You've got to have a full cup.
Yeah.
So it's definitely full, so that's good. What about yourself for that one? What would you say?
Yeah, because I can't think of any other questions before, but Andy's Man Club did help me. I joined, say, 2023, and I didn't know what to expect. Yeah. I thought, wow, this is just going to be a club of 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be like 20 odd people.
Surprising, isn't it? Yeah. The numbers.
I didn't even hear of it until like for that first session. And yeah, I went in. I went in every week for a couple. I haven't been for a while. Yeah. But yeah, I do enjoy going. Yeah. Yeah.
It's good because even if you've not been for a while, it's like you do miss it. Like if I'm on holiday or something and I miss it, and you're like, oh, it's Monday. But it's great when you go back and then you get that sense of, oh, I'm back. I've never been. You know, when you see the guys and seeing that people's journeys as well that they come on. Particularly as we like, then maybe ask X person to be a facilitator if they're showing those qualities. So yeah, it's, you always feel the benefit when you go back, even when you've not been for a while.
Well, and joining Andy's Man Club got me into Round Table. I met a couple of people that have started Round Table. You're not a member of Round Table, are you?
No, but I know from Dion what it is. Yeah. Vaguely, anyway. Is this a similar thing?
It's sort of, yes, but we do more socials and we do more community stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and it is for men for age 18 to 45. And
nice.
I've got more social confidence from Round Table than Andy's Man Club. Say Andy's Man Club, I can open more and I can, you know, let people know my story and from Andy's Man Club. But through Round Table, I think it's my opportunity to just let go.
Yeah.
If I want to have a bit of a laugh that night, I can. And there's a couple of stories, and maybe I can tell of Round Table. I always have this opportunity to see if I'll let out a quick joke. Yeah. If I know the quick joke is there, I'll take it. There was this one lad. He pulled a girl one night. He met this girl one night, It was a very rainy night, so he was putting on her scarf. I had a few to drink, and I said, "Don't choke, Martin. That's for later."
Depends on your audience when you're coming out with things like that. Depends on your audience.
It can't depend on my audience, yeah. Well, there's another story when I was dressed as Santa. This went down a treat. I was dressed as Santa. You already know the story, don't you? I dressed as Santa one night, and this old woman came to me. She was drunk, and I didn't know what to say. She went, "Oh, Santa, can I tell you what I want for Christmas?"
Oh wow!
And she said, "I want my husband back." I was like, "Well, I'm sure it won't be long until you see him again." I didn't know what to say, but I thought, did I just actually say that? It was so bad.
Was the poor guy dead, or was he just divorced from her?
He was dead.
You know, poor guy's probably just living down the road, and you're like, you'll see him one day.
You'll see him again soon.
Some shiny day. She's like, well, he got divorced. So we still won't know what the situation was.
No.
Right? The mystery.
I ran away, to be honest.
I don't blame you. Get Rudolph and get going. Got away with words, Paul.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do.
Needless to say.
Where were we?
I know, tangent. I think you said that going to AMC allowed you to then sort of venture into Round Table, and that's why you then started. You know, you give us a few of those examples, you know, experiences.
I do like Round Table, though. It's Round Table as well as my confidence, you know, going really well. It's what started this. It's what's, you know, and I've always been an advocate for mental health. I work as a mental health support worker, and you know, my day-to-day job. So I've always been before that. So, question 5. Did any?
I know. I'm trying to think of a good question 5.
I know one of the things was my group had was what was the best gift you ever received.
Yeah.
And that went down. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I bet there was some
men
romances there. I'm sure.
Yeah. I might not want to go into.
Yeah, well, I mean, basing it on that one, I would be cheesy and say my daughter because she's ace. And,
I actually went into a cheesy answer as well. That's actually kindness, because you can get a lot of kindness from an actual Andy's Man Club session. Because just of what the listening.
That is a gift, isn't it, in
Yeah.
itself? Having that space to be able to do that.
Yeah, no, to just release and
Good answer. Because I was thinking more of a physical thing or person, but like you've come with like an experience, which is good. Good answer.
Can you think of any other answers that
to that question?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just like along the same lines, like just like that kindness thing of just someone giving you showing empathy and understanding, and just really listening to you. Because I think that's so lost in the world now, because obviously we're so busy and there's so much going on and phones and distractions. To actually just sit there and listen to someone and really feel and give them that time and that empathy, and they feel heard, it's like, oh, I feel so much, I feel so heard, so I'd say that, because I've had that experience at AMC and elsewhere in life. You can't be being listened to. No point talking if no one's listening to you, because that's the definition of insanity. You're talking to yourself. Yeah, have you got any more?
Was any questions? There was if you could walk in someone's footsteps, who would it be?
Yeah, that's a good one. Like maybe like someone springs to mind, like Nelson Mandela or something, but obviously it doesn't necessarily have to be a famous person.
Yeah.
I'd love to flip him walk in my daughter's shoes, because the way she sees the world, like she's autistic, like she just laughs at everything, and I'm just thinking, what's going on in that little head? So I'd love to walk in her shoes, to be fair, for understanding as well.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Yeah.
There's so many of them that you could choose for that answer, though. There's a famous person, as you say.
Yeah.
But then family, and you say your dad's or your mum's,
or like relatives that have passed away, or to see what life was like for them
through their eyes.
Yeah, that's true. I know there's lots of answers there.
There was another question. Well, like, what's the greatest invention that's ever made? Someone did mention boobs, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's an invention. I thought you were going to say someone else, something that you need a VPN to watch. In the UK anyway. I'd probably say the telephone, because I just think it's amazing. Just even that basic string thing on back in the day in phone box, just to be able to speak to someone on the other side of the world.
So that's all the questions now from Andy's Man Club. So tell us more about your story then.
Yes, where to start? Well, like a lot of my sort of experiences with mental health started around COVID. A lot of people struggled during lockdown. So obviously that's over 5 years ago now. But it was just never apparent to me. I think I was having a bit of a midlife crisis. I'd just turned 30, and it was like into this crazy world that was COVID at the time. But I'm a very social person, so I was locked away from everyone almost. I was living with my wife at the time, but we wasn't able to see people. So my mental health really took a dip, turned to other things like alcohol in more of excess than ever before. And so that was the first time when I now look back that I realised that there was something starting there, and I just kind of was masking it a bit and plastering over it. And then in the end, in the following years to come, I almost realised I needed to do something. So I tried different things like counselling, all great things, counselling, even medication at one point. And then in the end, I just felt like something still wasn't quite ticking. So weirdly, Andy's Man Club opened in Warrington in January 2024, so 2 years old in January. And I was there on the first session, terrified, as you said, walking into a room, not having a clue. I think that we had about 40 guys that night. There was a lot of people there.
That's the bravest step, going into that door.
Yeah, to walk through that door, we always say, is the hardest thing you'll ever do, but the best thing you'll ever do. Yeah. So then for me, that really changed things, and I think not just because of being as part of like a brotherhood, that's how it feels, you community really, like you've talked about with Round Table, but you really do make, and have made, some amazing, like, close, lifelong friends. And obviously here we are nearly 2 years later, and I've helped open clubs, in and around Warrington, and now we're here, say we're in Runcorn. But it's just, the person I am now is completely different to the person I was back then. And I owe a lot of that to AMC, but I also owe it to various things. But that's kind of my story really in a nutshell of just feeling really detracted and distanced from everyone, and then realising I had a problem and doing something about it instead of just burying my head in the sand. Because as guys, we wear masks, and unfortunately it's an easy thing to do because it's vulnerable to take your mask off. But when it actually did and opened up, it's like, and that's not to say that everything's fine and dandy every day of my life now, just because I'm on this, it's a journey. But I was definitely ignorant to mental health. I was definitely very ignorant in understanding of what people experience, and I think I just thought that people needed to get over it. And actually, it's awful, because now that I've experienced it in myself and through other people I know close to me, it's amazing in a sad way how prevalent it is. And obviously we only have to look at the figures of, particularly in men, it's the biggest killer. I think it's of men under 50, but hopefully we can change that. So yeah, I'm glad I'm not ignorant anymore, and that's why anything like this I do a lot. I try to post a lot on social media and do Movember, and I want people to be less ignorant like I was ignorant at the time. I want people to understand that it's not a choice to suffer with your mental health, but there's a choice to do something about it and seek help. So hopefully that's what we can do.
I was doing it on social media. I was doing it on TikTok. And yeah, I've just sort of I've jumped off the bandwagon for a bit, because I lost my mum, say, in April. And I don't know, it's just felt easy to just sort of go back to be like, my normal life isn't, without TikTok, without posting, without thinking, I need to do a TikTok video or whatever. It's just, I've just gone back into life of just doing day-to-day stuff.
Yeah, autopilot kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's easy done.
I want to get back into doing TikTok and videos and be great to just, but it's really finding the time as well.
Of course it is. Yeah, definitely. Life is busy.
Yeah.
When you've got a family and
I've got three kids to look after at home. It's
slapping you in the face every 5 minutes as well.
Well, I've got two daughters and one son. The other two daughters gang up on me like heck, so
bet you're so outnumbered.
Yeah, I'm very outnumbered. Noah can't even talk, and he's slapping me in the face. So it's a very great place, a great family.
Honestly, they are honestly.
I love them to pieces. I forget where we are now.
So you asked my story, and then you were saying you slipped into routine.
My brain is.
You slipped into autopilot type.
Yeah, I always do.
Yeah, it's alright. Your mind's just wandering on to other things. Wondering if that woman's husband's ever going to come back.
So you've told us more about you've told us about your story. Is there anything else you want to bring on to
I don't think so, other than all I would say to people is, and whoever, men, women, anyone who's struggling with mental health, it is absolutely normal and it is absolutely fine, but please just do something about it. And it's so cliche to say, but there really is so much support out there. But you have to take that step, whether it's a step through Andy's Man's Club door or something else like counselling or whatever, or to the doctors. But just please do something about it, because, you know, I'm sure we've all had times where we thought, oh, it'd be easy if I wasn't here, because everything will just disappear. And I've definitely felt like that, I'll be honest and say. But now, on the other side of it, and I still have my days, but on the other side of it, on the better side of it, I'm so glad I'm still here, and I'm not a statistic. So please, just don't be a statistic, because you're far too loved, you're far too worthy of being happy, and we need you on this earth. So, yeah, that's all I would say, really. Just please be brave to take that first step.
So a lot of men, I think like that, though, because there's a lot of... I know there's a lot of responsibilities on everyone, but I think men try and take that too head on.
Yeah. I think men seem to, you know, again, not that women don't, but I feel like men do almost, they want to resolve everything, they want to take everything on.
Have a solution to
everything's on the shoulders, you know, man of the house and the family, and I've got to work hard, and it's so much pressure. So it's no wonder. And men don't talk typically as much, so it's no wonder that there's so much, like, compact, you know, pressure.
And having that pressure on sort of makes them not want to go to somewhere like Andy's Man Club and not realise as if that there's something wrong, or there's something not right with my brain, or there's something that makes men think that a lot about themselves.
I think they also think that they're the only one.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about AMC, because when they come in and they sit there and you go round the circle and some other guy's like, I've just got divorced, or I've just lost my mum, or whatever, and then that guy sat there thinking, oh, it's not just me, like, I'm not just going mad. And that common ground really just helps break the ice and let them know that it's okay. You know, you're not the only one trying to carry 1,000,001 things on your back, you know. So I love that about that setting, because there'll definitely be somebody else who knows exactly how you feel, and that's the power of conversation, thankfully.
Alright, I'll bring something on to this episode. You have an autistic daughter, I have an autistic daughter as well, and an autistic son, non-verbal, so we've both been through autism in our lives. How are you coping?
It's definitely with that word.
Yeah.
Well, with that whole world.
Yeah.
It definitely brings its challenges, and I certainly would not change it for the world, in the sense that, you know, I really do believe that autism is a superpower, as I say to Elsie. It is not something to be cured, in my opinion. It is a characteristic of a beautiful person that just thinks differently and needs to be treated slightly differently to get the best out of him. So it is a difficult. It's a lot of unpacking in that world, I think, because everyone is slightly different. We're all on the spectrum somewhere.
Yeah, I believe that we're all on the spectrum somewhere.
I think we're all slightly there somewhere.
I believe that most people haven't been diagnosed to older people now,
particularly from the past. Yeah, because obviously we've got so much more understanding.
I believe it's also a gene thing as well. It's genes.
Yeah, it is hereditary.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah,
I believe that. I don't believe all these what Americans are saying when it's through tablets or through paracetamol or through. Well, I mean, I do have a friend who believes it's in one of the jabs, but I won't.
There's definitely lots.
I won't get into it because there's just so many things you can't really prove, and you can't.
Yeah.
No.
It doesn't matter why.
It's a neuro development thing.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you on that. But it does. Being a parent to an autistic child is a whole different ball game, isn't it?
It opens up to so many worlds you didn't think that you'd ever challenge yourself as a parent.
Yeah.
You thought a parent, you know, when you're little.
When you visualise,
you think of
your life, you know, 2.5 children and a perfect family.
You think parents will be everything will be easy.
Yeah.
You know,
when they get older, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it is.
It opens up a lot of challenges. It
does. I think you have to be very resilient as a parent with an SEN child, because there's so much going on, and it's not just them, it's the environment that you're in all the time, like other people, like not understanding maybe how they need to be treated, and I think it's really hard to co-parent as well. So I'm not with Elsie's mum, I co-parent, and that's hard because we have to be on the same page, and we are, but like I'm not with her all the time, so when I am with her, it's even more prominent for me that I've got to give 110%, and it's tiring. It's a blessing, but it's a tiring blessing. So I don't think you can underestimate, the challenges there. But I think it's great that there's more awareness and people are starting to really understand that it's not something that needs resolving or fixing. It's just something that we have to
understand.
Yeah, adapt to.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
I like the word adapt.
Yeah. Definitely.
I feel like my daughter can be really kind. She knows literally the kind of soul. And she knows she's autistic. She feels
the understanding is there.
Yeah. But because she's got a brother who's non-verbal, that's what its challenges as well. She knows that, okay, that's Noah, and that's his challenges, that's his needs. But she's like, well, my needs are valid too.
Exactly. Yeah. And
that's why my girlfriend now is Noah's carer, and I'm Isabel's carer. And we've adapted to that. We've learned our ways around that. It works.
That's good.
Yeah.
There's no book for dummies, is there?
No, there's no right or wrong.
There's no right or wrong, and there's no child that's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Literally so unique.
When they're autistic, you can't just say, "Oh, this child does it this way."
Yeah.
So let's see if your child does it the same way.
Yeah. There's no circular peg in that's going to fit in every hole type thing. One size fits all. It just doesn't exist.
Have you gone, because we have to have like a disability behavioural nurse.
Yeah.
And we've gone through like all behavioural courses. Have you?
It's not something that we've, and again, I suppose there's varying degrees of severity of autism, for example. So like high functioning and that kind of thing. So Elsie has an EHCP and she sees like occupational therapy at school. She goes to special school. Yeah. But I suppose it's because her behaviour isn't necessarily an issue. It's more of a development thing for her. So she's 12 in January, but she's in her brain she's probably more like 8. In the things that she enjoys. So it's that kind of thing of it's not something I've experienced, but that's not to say that, like you say, an autistic child of a different child wouldn't, or maybe it's more behavioural for some than others.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of have to. You just have to assess each autistic person as an individual. Really. Yeah. So should everyone in this world. We should always be...
whether they're in autistic or not. Like I say, everyone's an individual, definitely. Yeah. Everyone's,
and that's what it should be about mental health as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's don't judge a mental health.
Yeah, like I used to do.
Yeah.
You know, as I mentioned, I think the more understanding we've got, the better. Hopefully.
Well, there's a stigma around mental health, isn't it? Because you hear the word schizophrenia, or you hear the word autistic, and there's just it's a big panic.
Bipolar.
Yeah.
You know, like it's such a negative thing. You know. Hopefully that stigma's
But that's
getting
what you should do.
away.
You should treat person as an individual.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Whatever.
Definitely.
Just be kind. Be nice.
Yeah. If we lived by that, it'd be a lot easier.
Okay, so it's coming up to like the last question now. I always like to ask guests, any film or any song, any book that has inspired you. Can you think of any?
Yeah, I've been having a good long think about this and thinking. I don't really read books very much. I love films and I love music, but weirdly, it only come to me today actually. Nothing stood out when I was thinking about it, but one thing that does is, one of my favourite films is the classic film of Forrest Gump, and I'm sure lots of people have seen it, and it's got so much within it, you know, make you laugh, make you cry. But I think what I love most about it is that it just, to me anyway, the summary of that film is, it doesn't matter where you start, it's where you finish. Doesn't matter what you're born into, what disability you've got, what disadvantage you might have, what advantages you might have. It's where you're going from start to finish, and it's the attitude and his attitude to life. Because he didn't have a great start in life. He absolutely smashed it, and that just inspires me to think, you know what? Regardless of what I've got over here, when I get over there and I look back and think, you know, I've done all right. And I don't mean material wise or anything like that. I mean, you know, what have you done with your life? What was your purpose? Have you helped people? Have you, you know, grown as a person? So yeah, I'm sure you've seen it, but what an amazing film and inspiring.
Stories. We got a box of chocolates the other day, and I lost the menu. Didn't know what box of chocolates, what was in the box of chocolates.
Just had to
and
guess.
That line came to my head. So yeah, it is life. Life is like that.
It really is. It really is. What about yourself then?
I always go with Robin Williams films. I do like Will Smith but Patch Adams is always one of my favourite.
I can't believe you just said that, because that was the first thing that come to mind when you said Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Robbie Williams.
Robin.
Yeah, Robin. Sorry, flipping it. Because it's such a beauousall film, that isn't it? How he makes.
Yeah.
Well, go on, carry on. You say what you're going to say about it.
No. It's funny enough, but I did my counselling. I trained to be a counsellor a couple of years ago, and they did can you do a presentation of person-centered, give an example of person-centered therapy, and I came up with, I did the presentation on that film, and I've always liked that film anyways, but that I've always thought, because of how person-centered he treated people as individuals.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
and I liked the fact that it was a true story.
Yeah, that's true.
And people were against him, as in because he just wanted to open up his own hospital, and
almost against the establishment,
Yeah.
which they wouldn't like, because he's doing things differently.
Yeah, but he didn't really care. I
No,
want to do it my way.
he didn't want to conform.
Yeah.
You know.
I want to do it my way. So yeah, it was. So I've always loved that film. But there's so many of them that I can really. Will Smith as in Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, that's another good one.
I can't really think of many more, but I do like a good film. We can really get into another good one that's just coming to my mind. Collateral Beauty with Will Smith in. That's a really good one.
Not seen that one.
No, I think his girlfriend died, and it's a really good story. But he was getting some help, and it all comes together at the end. There's a song that I always like Nickelback. What Are You Waiting For? That's inspired me to do the podcast. I like stereophonics.
Yeah.
Don't Let the Devil Take Another Day is another good one for me. Words really speak to me, as in from a song. So I think a good sing along is always actually quite a good release of my mental health. Can you think of any songs?
I do really like music, so like I've always got Spotify on, and my music taste is very varied, from like country to flipping cheese.
We were saying before, I think I can listen to Metallica in 1 minute and then listen to Taylor Swift. Or it's just
the variety is the spice of life, as they say.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so I'm just trying to think of anything. I mean, I'm a bit of an old-fashioned romantic, so I like some of the cheesy songs, like some Luke Combsy romantic-y ones. But I think it just
Teddy Swims.
Don't mind a bit of Teddy Swims. Ed Sheeran, of course, the man, the myth, the legend. But it just I find whatever it is, it just seems to take me away. You know, calm me down, and like if I'm driving I can't drive and not have music on because it's me in the open road, and usually a load of idiots in traffic. We won't get into that. But having that music just transports. I love how, like films, it can transport you to a memory or like a feeling, you know.
Or a story. Right, we had a few technical problems. We'll just wrap it up. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. It's been great.
This is the first time we're doing video recordings, and hopefully it works out. On Dion does his work, and see how it turns out.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for coming on, and bye for now.